welcome to Morning with Lise. I am Lise, child. So listen, I am starting something new. I'm adding on Morning with Lise every Wednesday for the next 20 weeks. We are going to go through my book, daily writing prompts to the Lord as we are moving closer to Yahweh. And sometimes we have to ask ourselves the question in order for it to be brought out, just as this book I created. I'm going through the different prompts now as far as life and what it's teaching me. So now I understand like why Yahweh had me create this book, and now it's like a guide to help me, and I want to help others as well. So again, that name is Daily Writing Prompts to the Lord, and I'll make sure to put it down below so we can all go through it together. Like I said, we're only going to do 20 prompts out of this book, and then we'll move on to something else, okay? For the next 20 weeks on Wednesday. So I'm going to ask you the prompt today, and I want you to go through and just sometimes to take a little time in order to really get the answers to a higher question of life, right? So we're going to come back on Saturday and we're going to answer that prompt, and just see how it worked for you in that moment, right? So the front page, that when we get started, like my about page, it says this book is to assist others with their journey to open their minds to a different way of thinking about our Lord and Savior Yeshua, as well as our Father, the Most High God. The writing prompts can be written in a separate journal for more space. I did add lines now, but if you needed like more space because you getting deep into pulling out what you want to do on your mission, yeah. So the writing prompts are in first person. This is for you to answer the question for yourself. This is not me telling you how to get there. This is you bringing it out of yourself to tell yourself, to show yourself how you are going to get there. Okay. I pray you find the answers you are looking to seek. Praying has always been my way out of any struggles or battles I have faced in life. I pray this book is accompanied by the ones in need. In Yeshua name, amen. Because I want people who actually need this book. I don't need it to be sitting on your shelf and waiting until you get there. Sometimes, that works, but I want people to realize you have a higher purpose in life. And sometimes all it takes is asking those questions that you never even thought about. So I also put my favorite Bible verse down here on this same page. Your word is a lamp for my feet and a light on my path. That is Psalms 119:105. That is my favorite Bible verse because it's like, I don't know this way. I don't know this path. So one time I had went walking and it was pitch black outside because I wanted to see the moon. So when I was walking back, I realized like, oh my gosh, it's so dark out here. Like I can't see. So I turned my flashlight on my phone, and I could only see what was in front of me, and I couldn't see all that other. So it made me realize, well, it made me come back to this Bible verse because it really made sense to me in that moment. You know, it is a whole street right here, and the only thing that I can see is right here in front of me, one foot in front of the other, to make sure that I get back to the path or get back to my location per se. Get back to being a getting to a light to lighten up the whole path, right? I pray that makes sense. So we're gonna go through the first. We're gonna go to day one. Again, we're only doing 20 days out of this book, and it's 120 prompts in this book to help you, you know, get to your Lord and Savior of your mission. So the first Bible verse is, "For where your treasure is, there is," say that again, "For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." That's Matthew 6:21. So I also have a topic on here. The things we treasure in our lives reveal where our heart currently lies. And here's the question: what am I devoting my time to? Where am I spending money on? Do I need to make changes? I'm going to read it again. What am I devoting my time to? Where am I spending my money? Where am I spending my money on? Do I need to make changes? This is what I'm asking you on this page. Well, Yahweh, because Yahweh guided me. What am I devoting my time to? Like, have you ever noticed, like, what is the first thing you think about when you wake up? What is the first thing you reach for when you wake up? What's the first thing you do, like, once you step out that bed? What's your first thought? So, for me, before I get out of bed, if I have my phone in the bed, I try to put on like a Bible, not a Bible. I go to YouTube and I listen to like one of them morning sermons, just as I do like on here, but mine's a little different. So I listen to like morning prayers try before I get out of bed. That is one of the things that I do, or I turn on like some gospel music, or just trying to see how to start my day with the Lord before your mind get all chaotic and stuff. So that is one of the first things I do. I try to give my time to Yahweh before I get out of bed. But I'm human, and although I do post morning videos and teach about Yahweh and how He views me and how I view Him and different things I go through in life. As you go through, the different morning videos, you will see like how I move closer to Yahweh and Yeshua, and how I started out calling them Jesus and God, and realize they telling me hey, no, this is not what we want you to call us. We want you to call us this name. And I tell people all the time, have you ever asked what is it that you want me to call you? Because God, they have many gods. And I learned that when I would say, I believe in God, and folks just kept asking, what God? People worship their phones. People call their phone a God. You right. Okay. So what God am I talking to? Who am I praying to? What's your name? He revealed his name. And a lady told me his name, what she heard, and I had forgot it when she had told me, and I had asked, I said, can you reveal it to me again? And it came back around again, and it was like popping up everywhere that this is the name and this is the pronunciation. And it was like a really cool moment to know, like, oh, you really listening to me, you really hear me. So moving closer to that, you would kind of see like things change in the videos and whatnot. But today, as we are going through the daily writing prompts to the Lord, where my treasure, for where your treasure is. Lately, these last few years, I got drawn to a lot of bad habits. Just life battles. I already grew up in like not a good situation, okay? Really hard not life, okay? But I wasn't drawn to, you know, bad habits, okay? But when I started getting into relationships and the toll of a relationship, I started drinking. Then I started coping with that. Used to be an alcoholic, and then had some more hardship and needed something a little stronger. I started smoking. It was working. It was good. But one day I came to the point where I asked myself, do I need to smoke? I used to make edibles, um, and I loved it. It's great science. I'm into science. It's great art, and it's really fascinating. But I kept asking, I can I can make edibles without smoking. This is the process of getting started. Where your treasure lies. So I'm like, okay, I can stop. I don't have to make edible. I don't have to smoke and make edibles so I can make some money. I love the art. So then it came to I should not be smoking. Yahweh just kept on putting on me, stop smoking, stop smoking. But it took time. But it also took time because now I'm closer to Yahweh than when I first had that first. Do I need smoking? Should I still be smoking? When I start asking these questions, things starting to be revealed. You gotta be careful what you start asking for now. So it started to be revealed, and he started like showing me more and more and everything. So but life. I started smoking because of anxiety. Like I everything was happening so fast in my life to the point where I just needed something to help me cope, help me get through, help me not blow up on people, help me not be so emotional, help me just relax, just relax my mind, relax the overthinking. Just, it was truly a crutch. And I used to always say, well, I only smoke because of my anxiety, which is, you understand? So it's like walking through life with a crutch. And this is where the moment changed for me. I got to the point where, now it's starting to be a hindrance and not a support. Now you're taking me away from things rather than moving me closer. Yes, you ease my mind. Yes, you relax my body. But sometimes you don't need to be relaxed. Sometimes you need to be in that go energy. And then I learned sometimes it is meant for you to speak up. In those moments where I just didn't want to overreact or go overboard, those were things I probably should have overreacted on and went overboard. But I didn't want conflict. I didn't want to do the back and forth. I didn't want to do any of that. So instead of battling and facing what was in front of me, I just smoked. Just smoked. It's okay. It started off as on the weekends because I really didn't really know what I was doing. It started off as just the weekend thing, and then it started to be, now I need this every day. Now I need this before I go to work. Now I need this to go to sleep. Now I need this to have fun. Because now I'm going out and I'm being around a lot of people, and now I have this anxiety around people. Because why y'all so close to me? Why do y'all have this anger issue? Why y'all trying to attack me? So I just smoke. And it's like you just laugh, you giggly, you relax, you ain't worrying about none of that. Right? I don't know if you are a smoker or not, or you have an addiction. Like I said, I was alcoholic, where I used to drink just to have fun, like real party girl. I wasn't crying or throwing up. And I was a real party girl, just have fun, just like to get loose and relax. Had a long day of work. But when that became, now I'm running to you to get away from a problem, you're not helping me. There was a drive-by shooting and I almost lost my life. And my high left. I went high no more because I almost lost my life. So I went and I had some liquor, and I literally that day I drunk. So it was like a big bottle, and I drunk almost all of the bottle just because I almost lost my life. And on that night, Yahweh came to me and told me to give him the drinking because I asked him, why am I still here? If I cannot just describe how close this bullet was to, hitting me in my head, and it was like everyone around me just didn't care. So why do you still have me here? So just truly just understanding where your treasure lies. Why do you have me here? He told me to give him drinking. That's what I cut off first, drinking. And I don't miss it. Can I have an occasional drink? I'm hearing no, but I have before, but I'm just saying it just doesn't affect me the same way as it did when I was, you know, in that mindset of the way I was drinking. So when I gave it to him, I gave it to him. Okay. I'm not saying, yes, I need this to go have fun. I can have fun without it. And I don't need to run away from my problems in order, because when you drink, smoking too, but when you drink, where you like trying to run away from your problems and you realize they still gonna be there when you wake up. You still gotta solve it. And no matter how much you try to run from it, it still needs to be solved. It still needs to be fixed. No matter if you take years or not, you still have to go through it. That's what I learned. So when it came to smoking, it was a little different, especially of the things that I learned when it came to smoking. I don't know if you have ever heard of a addiction gene, where some people have this gene inside of their genetics passed down through their bloodline, as far as, if and it doesn't just have to be drinking or smoking, but it's being, when you are, um when you really like something, it can be candy. When you really like something so much and you feel like you have to have this to function in your day, you are breaking more than just saying, I'm stopping this. This is something that is passed down through generation, that is so easy for, some of us to be attached to something and feeling like we don't have, we're not strong enough. And it's like, you just have to understand this was passed down through generation to generation, and you just may be the first person to really just stop it, to really just say, I can't take on this anymore. Like, really, you may be the first person, in your generation, your bloodline, to stop it. You understand? So it don't get passed on to other generations that come under you. Yeah. So, where your treasure lies, I came to an answer today because I asked, what am I running from? What is it why am I holding on to this the way that I am? And fear came up. And I realized how much this has been a crutch to me in my life. Life has been throwing some real bowls at me, okay? Life has been tearing me up. And I came to the realization today I don't need another crutch when I call on Yahweh for everything else. This is a crutch. I don't need crutches anymore. And that was so significant because these people are cleaning out their house and they have some crutches like in the trash can in the dumpster. And I thought about that when I said as I'm getting rid of smoking, I said I don't need a crutch. If I am leaning on Yahweh for everything else in my life, why do I need this to do exactly what He is guiding me to do? When I started smoking, I wasn't following Yahweh when I started smoking. I didn't have the relationship that I have today. I didn't have that relationship when I started smoking. I didn't have anything. So, or what I thought at that time. Okay. I was going through depression. My he was my husband at the time, but he my ex-husband now. He had went to prison. I downgraded. I lost the car. Like I lost my job. It was a whole life domino effect. Family members taking advantage of me. They're breaking my stuff. They're living in my house. They're not paying me no money. They pulling me down. I'm paying. It was it was a lot. It was rats in my house. It was so much. Oh, what a time. I went through depression. I weighed over 200 pounds. I was dealing with IBS. You see so much in that time when I started smoking. So I it was a crutch to get through life. It was a crutch to move forward and just hold my head down and keep moving. But when that drive-by shooting happened and Yahweh took alcohol away from me, I did still smoke. But now I'm at a point where I'm saying I'm actually ready to give it up. When I say where do my treasure lies, when I started releasing myself from smoking, it's like it kept attacking me 10 times harder. So some days when I'm getting up and I'm praying and I'm, you know, meditating, it just keep on bombarding me. When I go outside to go jogging, it's like it's everywhere. I could be sitting in a room by myself and it just a whiff of it just popping my nose. It was like it was attacking me once I started, really putting my foot down to say, I can't do this anymore. So then I started learning more about because I'm like, it shouldn't be this hard to stop smoking. So it was a number of things, like I said, the addiction gene that I have in my DNA. But also I stopped smoking marijuana from the street and went to like the dispensaries. And I learned that those are way worse than getting it out on the street. The people out on the street, they may not know what they selling. But in the dispensaries, they are putting harmful, chemicals inside of these items and it makes you, wanted more. It like draw you to it more. It's triggering things in your brain where the chemicals in the stores, I say the chemicals, but the products in the stores with all of these chemicals is playing on your habits. It's not just smoking, but smoking is a huge thing right now where it's really being put out. You know, we're talking about, vapes. We're talking about, the marijuana that they're putting in the store. So they have THC, they have CBD, they have, I'm not going to go through all that, but those are the two main, strains, but they have so much more, so much more. There's things that you haven't even heard of, strains you haven't even heard of, that's not even out on the street. They make the ones in the store more potent, more to get you more high, to get you more um, cloudy, unconscious, and really taking a toll on your body. It's not smoking the same thing as, back in the day. It's not the same. They're playing on people's addictions. So when we're saying where our treasure lies, we have to think about, although we're trying to give up certain things, you have to play in other factors where you have to be patient with yourself. It's one day at a time. Hey, one day at a time. But when you are putting your focus in Yahweh, I kept reading something um a couple of few days where it just kept saying Yahweh should be the first person you go to and not the last. And I didn't understand that until today, where I'm saying when anxiety hits, I need to go to Yahweh. When fear of the path that I can't see, I need to trust. I kept seeing your commitment is being tested. Your commitment is being tested. And I did not understand. And we're always being tested, because we us as in this flesh body, we deny him. We deny him. No matter because we want control and we want to know how things go. And when things don't go exactly the way we want or exactly the way we plan, we throw a fit and it just you're not here for me. Please tell me I ain't the only one who. So he kept saying your commitment is being tested. Your commitment is being tested. And I didn't truly just understand what that means. Like, I follow you, I follow you, but I didn't follow him in every aspect of my life. Because if I was truly just following you and I truly treasured you and not, the addictions, when I had a problem, I would come to you. And it's not to say I didn't go to him, but it says you wasn't the first person I went to. That doesn't make sense. Because if you was the first person that I went to, I would not have picked up any addiction. I would have came straight to you and trusted in your word to know that you're not gonna leave me in this situation. You're not. You're not gonna leave me in this situation. We're not gonna get into, today, like what I have going on. But I decided to say my time needs to be devoted more into Yahweh's word. My time needs to be devoted into what he want me to do and to trust his way, his word, his guidance, his teachings. Because he is teaching me every day. And I'm sure other people are going through lessons as well, but are you learning the lessons that are in front of you now? Some of us have to go through lessons more than a couple times in order for us to grasp the concept. But now I'm saying I only want to put my time and my energy into what Yahweh has for me. Where I don't, my money don't need to go there. It's it takes up a lot of your money. Nah, I could spend this somewhere else. I can do something else with this. I need something else because this is not working for me. Because you know what? Even though I pull on these addictions, you got to realize something. You still have to go through the path. The addiction does not take away the path. It don't. It don't. And if it did, maybe we'll be all right. But the fact is, it do not. But it delays you. It pulls you back. It puts you at a standstill. It's like you're not moving forward because now you have a distraction in front of you because I don't know. I can't go that way. I don't know that way. I don't know what to do. And it don't make sense to me. And I'm trying to put two and two together, but two and two ain't equaling four. And it's like 100. And what is this? And does this make sense? This is what you want me to do, and this is how you want me to do it, and this is what you is this gonna work? Ain't nobody doing this. Trusting Yahweh's word, trusting his timing, and we have to truly just put in, well, I do, because I can't tell everybody to put it in, but to have a balanced life, living just in the physical, that's where the overthinking comes from. You have to trust. If you truly say you are the believer, you are a believer in the Creator. If you say that you are a believer, then that means that you trust Him in all aspects of your life. Not some of them. All of them. What I'm learning now. I can't trust you for, see, I post videos online, and when I post videos, I ask Yahweh, speak through me, guide me. You know, what is it that you want me to present to others? How can I help others? Like, I have a lot of information, but just because you have a lot of information, it doesn't mean that every information is meant for every situation. So how can I teach someone what it is that they need to know in this moment? And even before I upload my videos, I ask Yahweh, do you like this video? Did I present it in a way that you wanted me to? So if I can do that, and if I can ask, hey, Yahweh, what do you want me to wear today? What do you want me to eat today? Can I have this? Can I go here? If I do all of that, why can't I give you this anxiety as well? Why can't I give you this fear? you know because once it pulls on whatever distracting you that you were supposed to do. Now you feel guilty. Now you still not moving forward. You got to understand, the devil don't want you to move forward. He wants you to stay in that one spot, because if you stay in that one spot, you're not going to complete your mission. You're not going to complete your purpose. You're not going to uplift other people and pull them to where they need to be, because we are all together in a sense. Each and every one of us is a puzzle piece in each other's life in some aspect of everyone that you come across. Just as me. If you're watching this video right now, that tells me that you want something different in your life. You want something more in your life, and you just need to ask the right question. How can I get there? I don't know. I haven't seen it before. So how can I get there if there's no one to teach me? Hey, now you're watching me. Because now that I said, you know what? I can't allow any addiction to take me away from my mission, to stop me. I don't need these distractions. Okay, Yahweh, what is it that you want me to do? I trust you. Now I am aware and I acknowledge that I wasn't trusting you in this area. Yes, I trusted you in all them other areas, but I realize now that no, I was not trusting you in this area. Yes, it calmed my mind and helped me with my anxiety, but you know what? It also hindered me. It also distracted me. It also had me more relaxed when I should have been doing more work. I should have been recording more, but I'm relaxed. I'm not overwhelmed. Life is not just sitting here. No, let me say that different because it is. Life is sitting here kicking me while I'm trying to work, and I need something to calm my mind because I know if I say something, I know if I react, I know it's still not going to help me, but it's distracting me. So now I need my mind to come lower because you got to understand when you do any addiction, it has to bring you down to a lower state in order for the people who are attacking you to not attack you in that moment. Because they're going to continue to attack you. Why? Because you're elevating, you're rising, and they don't want you to move further. They don't want people to pass them. So if you bring yourself down to a lower state, you're not triggering them. You're not making them see something different. You're not making a change. You're not making a difference. Why? Because you did something that distracted yourself to bring you down in a lower state simply because you could not handle what was in that moment of not speaking up when you were supposed to. So let's start from the beginning. Day one, the Bible verse. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. My treasure lies in Yahweh. I trust Yahweh. My heart is with Yahweh. Everything since Yahweh came to me that night of that drive-by shooting, when he came to me, I felt like that was the only person that I had. I didn't know how it was gonna go. We was just starting out our relationship. We good in that. But we were just starting our relationship. Him, Yahweh build trust just like we build trust. Cause he know where you came from. He not judging you. He not judging you. But he has to make sure that he strip away all that in order for you to walk into this new. You can't be that same person walking with Yahweh. That's a sinful life. And walking in your mission and walking in your purpose, Yahweh want you to do something more than putting yourself down in a lower vibration. You don't need to be there. So my heart lies with Yahweh because no matter anything that I went through, I learned that he was there. Even the things that I play back in my mind of, when I thought nobody was there, I realized he helped me and he brought me out and he moved me and, repositioned me and put walls up away from people that was really, trying to tear me down even more. But I just didn't know him because the people that I was around, they didn't, I had questions and they didn't know the answer. I didn't understand their mindset of what they was coming up with because it didn't make sense to me. But when I found the relationship, I'm not gonna say I found it because I kept asking questions and he came to me. When I asked that question, why he ain't take my life, he came to me and he revealed himself to me. Okay. So as we built this relationship, everybody that was around me got removed, habits getting removed, foods I ate, because that's not how he want me to live my life. If you ask, like, how do you want me to live my life? What do you want me to eat? What do you want me to drink? How do you want me to sleep? Like, what, how do you want me to wear my hair? How do you want me to wear my makeup? I ask Yahweh for everything. Do I need to talk to this person? When I go out into public, especially if I'm taking like a lift or something, I pray over that driver and I say, don't I say, can you send me a driver that I can help in their life? Or they can give me a helpful word in my life. Hey. Because sometimes you just need to be around people that is going to uplift you or you uplift someone else if that is your calling, right? So, being placed in those situations, I go to Yahweh for everything. And when I came to the realization that I wasn't giving him this part of my life too, because it was a crutch for a few years. It was a crutch for a few years. But now I'm at a place where I'm saying, you know what? I don't need a crutch anymore if I'm walking with you. I don't need that crutch because you're guiding me. You've been guiding me. We have built our relationship enough for me to know that you are here. You're here. You showed me that. It ain't something I'm just imagining. You showed me. So, where am I devoting my time? I was devoting my time in distractions. Because we could throw in social media, any addiction. It just don't have to be drinking and smoking. Social media. Whatever you indulging in more than normal. Like if it's taking up a lot of your time, if you knew you were supposed to do something, or if you knew that Yahweh wanted you to do something and you didn't do it simply because there was a distraction in your way. I'm not even gonna necessarily say procrastination because it's like you stopped for a reason. What was the reason? We can throw procrastination, but no, it's a deeper reason than to tell somebody that they procrastinate. What are you running from? What are you running from? Why don't you want to take that next step? What is stopping you for taking that next step? So then we ask, where am I spending money on? Some people have a shopping addiction. What are you spending your money on? Are you giving back to the community? Are you helping others? I'm really learning giving and receiving. And you have to give in order to receive. Now, that can be different for each and every one of us because we have to ask, Yahweh and Yeshua, what is it that you want me to give up? Have you ever seen that picture where the little girl had the little bear and Yeshua had the big bear behind his back? And he's telling the little girl to give me the little bear, and he was going to give the girl the bigger bear. You have to give something in order to receive. So, do I need to make changes? Well, for me, yes. I make changes every day, and each day is a step. Each day is a new lesson. And no matter if I have to learn that lesson again, I learned something new within that lesson, or I learned something new about myself. But then you have to come to the realization, I don't want to learn the same lesson again. I don't want to keep going through this same lesson over and over. Like I didn't get it the first time. It's just like saying, how many times you're gonna bump your head before you realize it hurt? How many times you're gonna bump your head before you realize it hurt? And then we have to say as well, sometimes the things that we are praying for, we're asking for, it hasn't came yet simply because you're the one who's hindering yourself from receiving it. It's not that it can't be given to you, but what are you doing in your life that is hindering you? Are you around people that you know that ain't gonna do nothing but take it away from you once you receive what it is that you asked for? Do you have things as, addictions, shopping, drugs, alcohol, that is going to take your money away when he give you the money? Like, because what is the point of giving you all these riches if you're not going to do nothing but spend it all on drugs and alcohol and, unnecessary shopping and trying to keep up with, the Joneses? And that's not what you're supposed to be doing. Ask. And it's not to say that you can't have those things, but it's just to say, is this how you want me to live my life? What changes do I need to make? Where do my treasure lie? If I am I putting this above Yahweh? Am I? So, to end our video for today, we have a Bible card, and it comes from Exodus 15:2. The Lord is my strength and my song, and he has become my salvation. Don't you just love how that just wrapped up? Because I'm saying, I'm giving you something that I have been holding on to, that I have had a crutch to get through this life when I didn't know that you were there with me. But now that you are here with me, holding my hand, I trust you. You guide me. I know you can make a change. I know you can make a difference. I know these things. This is not something someone is telling me. Nobody not telling me that you can change things around in an instant. I seen it. You showed me. You said, don't worry about what you're gonna eat and the clothes I'm gonna wear. You showed me that. That's not something that I just read. You showed me. So I can give you what I have been holding on to. I can give you this crutch that I have had to get through life. I have gave you so much of my old life, people, places, and things. And now the last thing that helped with my mental calm my mind, my overactive mind. You calmed it down. You showed me how to regulate my emotions. It was a process now. Strength. Strength come over time. And I'm not saying that you can't come up with the full strength in one day, in one night, because I believe he can do that for you. I didn't heard folks say he didn't took it from my mouth. I heard folks say that. But some of us who have the actual gene, the addiction gene, it takes time. Okay, I can't speak for nobody else on that. Okay, but it takes time. It takes the time where you come to that realization, because can't nobody stop for you. Can't nobody make you stop. You have to get that strength. You have to say those words. Confess with your mouth. I confess my sins. And I realized that my treasure needs to lie within you. Please give me the strength. So he showed me how to regulate my emotions. He showed me how to communicate with people without, me getting a little overboard. Because I'm going to tell you, I come from a line of anger problems, okay? Quick, quick. Okay. So giving him what no longer served me, being guided into this peace, love, and happiness. So now I can give you the last bit, the last people, the last addiction. Because where does my treasure lie? My treasure lies within you, Yahweh. So please give me the strength. I know it's going to be difficult. I know it's going to be a challenge, but I tell you, I'm ready to take this step forward. I'm ready to move forward with the rest of my mission. I have came this far in life where the only person that can help me through this next door is you. We got here. You let me do all this up until this point. And now you're saying you can no longer do this anymore. You cannot take this with you. It's like your house is on fire and you sitting and trying to grab all your valuables when the most valuable thing is you. Are you going to harm yourself in that burning building, trying to pick up and grab things when everything new will come? Because when something burns down, it has to be replaced. Have you ever seen, a forest or just some grass, something burn and it just blooms so beautifully. It grows so beautifully. Something new because the old was tore down so much. Everything needed to be gotten rid of. We no longer need this in this next journey. Leave it. Let it go. Remove it. It's not helping you on this side. It helped you over here. We allowed you to do it over here. But over there, it's going to stop you. It's going to slow you down. It's going to slow you down. So, are you going to allow something to hinder you when you worked so hard to get to where you are right now? Do you need to make changes? I know I do. And I know I am. Because I'm ready to confess with my mouth. And I'm ready to give it to Yahweh. Do I still have anxiety? Yeah. But I know over time He will take that away from me. That anxious. I believe that's why Psalms 119, I think it's 105. Lamp for my feet, light on my path. Your word is a lamp for my feet and a light on my path. Yeah. Psalms 119, 105. I think that's the reason why that's like one of my favorite Bible verses that I just hold on to because when we go down a new path and we say we don't want to do the same thing over and over, we don't know this way. And we get kind of like, what's over there? Like, I don't know. Is it gonna hurt me? Like, I know this way. I know these folks gonna hurt me. I know these folks gonna do that, but I can take it. I don't know what's over there new. So do you want to take the same thing that you've been going through when it's a potential chance for you to get out of it? Also, I learned failure is not a bad thing because once you fail, You learn the lesson, you get back up, and you try again in a different way because you know that way doesn't work. But you still learn a lesson in order for you to move forward in what you want and how to get there. When you have that mindset to say, this is what I want out of life, nothing else around you shouldn't be able to take you away from that. Your target, the target is not the wealth, the target is the peace. The target is, living life the way you want to live life and not living life the way someone else want you to live life. Because Yahweh is not going to put you in an uncomfortable situation that he's taking you out from. Taking away that small bear in order to giving you this big bear. For all the troubles that you had to deal with, now you get the reward. Now you get the promise because you stayed true. You trusted. You believed. You surrendered. You allowed Yahweh to show you that he is your salvation. So let me show you the reward of trusting and believing in my word. Not something somebody else told you now, but his word, his teachings, his guidance. I'm not even we can go through the stuff with the Bible, but that's not what I'm talking about neither. Have you just really sat down and had a conversation with Yahweh? I'm not talking about talking in tongues. Just talk. Just get it off your chest. Just talk. This is what's bothering me. This is why I'm holding on to this. Can you take this away from me? Can you heal this inside of me? Because I know it's hurting me and I know it's taking me away from what it is that I want to do in life. But can you show me something better? Because I want it. If you telling me I can have it, right? If you telling me I can have it, show me what you want. You want this? Here, have it. Have it. But you have to show me. I trust. I'm giving you this and I'm trusting you to show me that your way is better than the way I'm coming from. Because when you're coming out of a sinful way, you don't, it's difficult because over here with Yahweh, it's different. It's different. But we have to think about we was conditioned, we was raised in a sinful lifestyle. So it is going to be different. It's like learning a new language. But once you start, it starts flowing. Okay. I pray this message resonated with you. Since I did, this is the first episode of our daily writing prompts to the Lord. So since I did this one about an hour, I'm not going to, I don't know, maybe I'll do a video on Saturday because I already answered my question for the day one. I already answered my question. So if I have something else that Yahweh guide me to, I will post a video on Saturday. But if He does not guide me to record another video for Saturday, we're gonna start it, the next week where we read the prompt and then we come back and we go over the prompt and just me tell you what I wrote and y'all tell me, don't get too deep, these are comments, but be open and hey, this is what I want to share. How can, because your testimony can help somebody else just as my testimony can help a lot of people as well. We are all puzzle pieces in each other's life, and sometimes people just need a supportive word or that one word or that one question that helps them in their life at that moment. Same vice versa. Reciprocity, right? You may pick up something down in the comments to help somebody else, to help you. Hey, it may help me. We all are a puzzle piece to each other. Okay. I pray that y'all learned something. And again, I will put the book down below just in case if you wanted to go ahead and get it and you like, oh, this is, this nice little book and this is going to help me get closer to Yahweh. But not only closer to Yahweh, get to know yourself a little bit more and be able to appreciate yourself more in your life and really find that balance and that common ground of, okay, daily writing prompts to the Lord. Guide me, teach me, show me. I surrender. You're going to have to surrender. Take your time, but you're going to have to surrender. I wrote it just for that, just for you to move closer to your mission and your purpose in life. Okay? So that's what I want, to move closer to my mission and my purpose. Because some of us don't want to come back and do earth again, okay? All right, y'all. Y'all have an amazing day. And yeah, just keep on with Morning with Lisa and hear the supporting words of that day. All right, y'all.